Hello. Hi, everyone. I see Ali is, yay, he made it. Oh, he probably tried to unmute and then I muted him. Sorry.
Yes, I'm here. I'm just sharing the link.
Yes, thank you very much. We're on our 7th edition, guys. CityClips. We're talking CityClips, and we're going to focus on growth hacking. And we check in with each other. For those of you who haven't seen the previous episodes, Ollie holds me accountable and I try to hold him accountable every week. And we're documenting our process of building an email newsletter business. And that's one of the reasons why I like to record at home. I mean, at my other office during the day, but life, throws you curveballs. And so you might hear my dog. Sorry about that. And my kids. So yeah. How's your day, Ollie?
It was excellent. My wife just told me some good news. I don't know if it's good news or bad news, but she told me, by the way, CityClips is now better than Jareed.
What?
I said, what do you mean exactly?
That's a huge compliment.
Yeah. She told me I really like the content. She really liked the armadillo thing. Tell people about the armadillo.
She did.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. That means a lot because I know she teaches writing. She teaches creative writing.
Yes, and she's been reading Jareed for 3 years, and it took you 2 weeks.
Maybe it's different when your partner or your spouse is doing it, and you just like, it's not a big deal.
But anyway, I honestly think this is a testament of that the content is good, and that the team is getting more used to, okay, what do we need and how do we need it, and this is a good thing about it. Tell me, how do you feel about the content? Like, how about after 2 weeks?
Yeah, obviously I'm learning a lot, and now I'm trying to figure out like how can I efficiently, do this so that I can efficiently delegate this, and so then I can pick up the pace in putting these out faster, because like I said before, analysis paralysis, I tend to get perfectionist mode, and I'm like, oh, it should have this, and so I complicate it a little bit more, but I'm starting to come up with simplifying the process as well. The part that's tricky is, you have your style of writing and then passing it on to someone else. They have their style. And so I might still, like, obviously I'll be primarily contributing, and then see how one of my team members is comfortable with it. And so, yeah, as far as like content goes, I feel really good about it because, we have a little bit of the local, regional, and even we touch on national issues, but nothing majorly controversial that's trending everywhere. So I feel great about it. What about you?
I think it's amazing. Do you think it's adding to you? Like, remember when we started the newsletter, I was saying that I was encouraging everyone to start their own newsletter, and one of the things that I wanted to say was, actually, it keeps you more up to date with whatever you're interested in or whatever your field is. You actually feel better after you do the product. Like, with a lot of jobs, after you do the job, sometimes you feel more stressed, or your energy is out. And I believe with newsletters, it's almost the opposite. Like, once you're done with it, it's like, more, you're more up to date, and you get to share that.
Yes.
With initially tens of people, then hundreds, then thousands of people. You actually have impact.
And that's
did you feel
exciting.
that? Or
yeah, absolutely. Okay. And that's what's exciting, because sometimes I notice that I tend to know random things, and other people will say, really, I didn't know that. This. So to me, it's like, oh, how can we quickly, share information so that more people can know as fast as they can. And I think if, as you get to know this town, maybe it's just a small town thing, or maybe just the dynamics of the community, things are a little slower paced. and I don't know if it's just because I didn't think San Francisco was that fast paced. but maybe just being a city person, I'm just like, come on, let's get going. And my mom lived in New York. She lived in Manila, Philippines, big cities. Like, get this done, move, or get out of my way. It's
Yeah.
like everything is fast paced, and don't hold anyone else up, right? Like, why do we take our time with spreading information when it only helps others to know more about it and spread the information as well? So that's what I'm hoping that we accomplish as well.
Nice. I agree. Okay. So, what are we talking about today?
Okay, so speaking of speed, growth hacking. That's one of the things I was hoping that we can cover. Can you just kind of talk in more detail? I know we touched upon it in other episodes. What did you do before? I mean, after sharing it with your, I think you mentioned 20 friends, right?
Hmm.
Then eventually, like it started picking up in pace. It was a little slow in the beginning, but what else did you do to just gradually grow it other than sharing it initially with some friends?
Okay. We went with the basics, like just probably to give everyone a bit of a base. What does growth hacking mean? Growth hacking, it's about expediting growth or increasing the speed of growth as much as possible. And growth hacking specifically as a concept, I think probably the best definition that I found for it was that how do you embed growth within your product? The best, one of the best examples that explains that is Hotmail and the beginning of Hotmail and how it actually grew. Um, so Hotmail was probably one of the first free emails. I don't know if anyone knows the internet or emails before Hotmail. Actually, it was a paid service. Like whenever you got internet, you would get an email account in addition to it. So basically, it was part of your payment for having internet is actually a payment for um, an email account, AOL account, for example, because it's a service, like you have to pay money for it. But then these people, Hotmail, they came up with the idea that actually no, it's going to be for free. And the way they grew so fast was that whenever you sent an email, in the signature was that this email was sent by Hotmail, sign up here for a new email. So what they did, while you're using the service, the normal service of sending an email, in it, if anyone is impressed with, wow, what is Hotmail, what is that product, you can actually sign up for it. So one person, just by using the email, he was marketing the service for other people. Another good example of growth hacking or embedding growth within the product was Dropbox. Dropbox, whenever you signed up, it would encourage you to share it with other people, because it said, for example, you start with Dropbox, you have one gig of storage, but if you share it with someone and they sign up, you get an additional gig. So actually they encouraged you, so it was part of the product, they encouraged you to market for the product, and actually they incentivized you by giving you additional storage. This so embedding growth within the product is the best way. How do you do this in a newsletter? One of the ways that was implemented in different newsletters was encouraging people to share and giving them something in return. It doesn't have to be something that is paid for. It can be an additional newsletter, like for example what the Morning Brew did. You get the newsletter 6 days a week, but there's a special newsletter that gets sent on the seventh day. But that seventh newsletter is not for everyone. It's only for people who actually, after if you share the newsletter, if you share Morning Brew with 3 people who sign up, you will immediately be added to the special list that gets that special newsletter. So this is for the first 3 shares. Then after 5 shares, you get something else. Like I think it was the next one was stickers that you can put on your laptop. Then after 7 or 8 shares, you get a mug, etc. Again, that's how you incentivize growth without necessarily going through marketing or paying for a lot of marketing stunts that you have to do here and there. So the more growth hacks that you can put within your product, the more you will hack the growth and accelerate it. That is as an idea. What did we do in Jareed? We implemented the share it with 3 friends and you will get a special newsletter. We did that. We did a couple of competitions, like if you share this, you will get into there is a gift that is potentially going to be given to anyone who shares the most right now. So share it with as many people as you can, and the more you share, the more chance opportunity you will get to win this present. So I think this is the concept, and these were two tactics that we implemented, but honestly there can be more tactics that potentially can be employed.
So how did you keep track? Like, there's two follow-up questions related to that. So I found out, thanks to podcasting, I learned that the founder of sorry, my dog.
It's all good.
I learned that the founder of founder of Morning Brew, or sorry, he worked with Morning Brew, and they wanted to create a platform that was for everybody. So they are the founder. He worked and co-founded, I believe, Beehive, the newsletter platform. So they designed a platform that's supposed to be helpful for people to actually refer, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm seeing a lot of companies and influencers using that. So, how did you track all the shares with MailChimp?
Beehive is a very interesting concept. We can talk about it potentially in more details later. But how do you keep count? There's one of potentially two ways. There's plugins that you can add to the newsletter that actually will help you track and will help you give out gifts according to how many shares. It is almost the same as loyalty programs. You know how loyalty programs work. So basically, what you will have is that for each email, you will start to the way it was done for us at least. um, Whenever the email is sent, I will tell you at the bottom of the email, please share this newsletter and here using this link. And if you use this link, actually this link is specially for you, for your email, and anyone who will sign up, it will go on your counter. So now we go back to the list of emails that we have, and every email has a counter of how many shares did they actually do. And again, you can complicate it more by actually saying not every share counts, only shares that go all the way to submitting a correct email will actually count.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, but basically it's a counter, and it's not that difficult of a product to do, but the idea, like I said, is the same. So you see, when we go to cityclips.net, um, you you will see the same page as if you go to a referral link that is sent out by me for sharing cityclips.net, if we do actually implement this idea. But the only difference is that if someone signs up using my link, it will add on my counter. If no one, if you don't use it, if you sign up with just the generic cityclips.net link, it will not add to my counter. So this is what we did. And honestly, I think there's plugins that potentially can do that as well.
Yeah.
Uh, it's not that complicated. But the thing is, now what we have to do, what we have to decide is, what are these giveaways? Exactly what you're sharing right now. So this
Yeah.
is what Morning Brew is like. They try to encourage you to share. And yeah, so after 3 shares, I cannot read this.
Sorry. Yeah. My
Yeah,
little highlights
after
and
three
apps that I
shares,
use.
you get, what do you get? You get
I think
this
it's like a premium Sunday newsletter, like you said, and then the five shares of stickers, and then
10 is a
10
keychain,
bottle
15.
opener. Yeah, I want that coffee mug. I've shared it so many times. I never shared the link though.
The coffee mug is so nice. I went all the way to 15. I think I'm somewhere on the 18.
Really? Did you
Yeah,
get your mug?
yeah, I did get my mug, and it's a very nice mug, by the way. But you see, this is very smart, because if you go through other routes of growth, let's say you share it, we keep advertising on Google Ads, you will find out that the cost for each subscriber will be potentially around $3.
Right.
But you see, with the coffee mug, if you go all the way to a coffee mug, it means you shared already to 15 people. This is equivalent to how many dollars? This is equivalent to $45. Do you think it costed Morning Brew $45 to produce that mug? No. It
No.
probably has, if they mass produced it, probably it cost them around, I don't know, $3, $4, $5. Let's add to it shipping. It probably costed $6. So they already saved about $39 just by doing this.
That's cool. Yeah,
But
and then they did studies. This is actually the most effective way of growth. Like
yes,
that's how they
and
were able to grow
Ma-
pretty.
that's another smart idea about growth that Morning Brew did, which is actually sharing these kind of growth stories. If you look up online about Morning Brew growth, there will be a whole article that will explain to them, that will explain um, their gifting system and how they count and what they did and why they did it and how much exactly. How did they subscribe, pure hustle,
Yeah,
referrals, and they talk about referrals. And actually, this article itself is very popular. So
yeah,
this article itself is actually marketing for Morning Brew. That's
right.
another growth tactic. It's not only about like imagine if you go on Women's Wednesdays and start talking about cityclips.net. You are sharing the story about cityclips.net and the value of newsletters and whatnot, but you're also improving, you're gaining brand equity of cityclips, letting more people know about it, letting increasing the brand value, and more people will subscribe. That's also growth.
Yeah,
So more and more of these growth, but I would say these are growth tactics and not necessarily growth hacking. Growth hacking
okay.
specifically, I would say, like I told you before, it's the definition of it would be, how do you include growth within the product? How do you embed it within the product? And this aspect of having the referrals link within the newsletter is potentially a growth hacking tactic. But that's another challenge. What other growth hacking? How do we include growth within the product itself? That's another question.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. And then because I'm thinking of ways where we could, I think Eddie, I mean, Eddie, if you see this recording, I'm asking you already to with
Mm.
Launch Tally, they probably have some cool swag we can include because, we're still featuring them as partners. And I'm sure there's other potential community partners that would be happy to do any kind of giveaways. But I do like the loyalty program because, like you said, it incentivizes someone to share over and over again to reach a certain goal. And the there's another question related to shares. Okay, so there's loyalty program, there's the shares. I actually like the loyalty program. Do you want to do something like that, or just like, is it not time to do that yet?
No, no, no. It's actually it's a good idea to do it, but you see, the loyalty program will not mean anything if we don't have a base. Like the whole idea is that you need a certain base, and you want to incentivize that base to share. So the results will be according to how big that base is. But what I want us to do as well, potentially, is actually we need to grow that base, even if it's with paid marketing and not necessarily. And this is why the idea of billboards, because it's a local newsletter, we want to employ potentially Google Ads for that is targeted specifically to people in Tallahassee and North Florida, and like a little bit. So maybe I would rather start focusing on telling people to share after we get to 1,000 subscribers, rather than when we still have a few subscribers. But it
Okay.
doesn't mean that we delay it. We can start building it now. Probably it will not be completely operational until, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks from now. And by then, hopefully, we're going to have some marketing out, and we're going to have more subscribers, and then the machine starts growing, start feeding into each other, and the different marketing tools should feed into each other.
Now I'm remembering too, like when I was in college and Google started campaigning for their Gmail, their actual email campaigns. And I remember thinking, wow, they're doing something different because everyone else is charging for email, but they're giving it away for free. And then I think they also had a referral program for it. I think something about like, if you refer a friend to sign up for an email, you get this for free. Do you remember that?
Yes. That was, I think, are you talking about Gmail? Gmail
Yeah.
was just referrals in the beginning. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
I think
That's
that
how
was
I
back
signed
in.
up. I never heard of them, but I was like, oh, I want a free email address. And
Yes.
so, and I think that's one of the reasons why they grew so quickly. And everyone probably thought they were an email company at first, but that was never their main mission, right?
Hmm.
Say hello to
Yeah,
my
and-
16-year-old.
but But Gmail is still one of the best products that Google has. Talking about incentivizing readers and incentivizing people to share. By the way, there's different ways of incentivizing people. You can tell people, okay, share it, and I will give you a gift. But there's even better ways, which is share it, and I will give you and the person you are sharing with a gift. That is actually better because it doesn't show uh, when you tell someone, okay, share it and I will give you a gift, it might feel selfish on the receiver side. Okay, I'm only sharing it because I'm getting a gift. No, I don't need that. But if actually there is a gift that is given to the one you're sharing to, it decreases that guilt. I'll give you an example. In Morning Brew, they had this hack where they actually said, share the newsletter with someone within 24 hours. Like now it's 7 a.m. Keep sharing until 7 a.m. tomorrow. And we're gonna give away two, I think it was MacBooks. Okay. If you're the lucky person, you will get two MacBooks, one for you and one for the one you shared it with.
I remember that.
And the smart idea about this is that actually it alleviates the guilt, because actually even if I shared your email, Julia, I'm still giving you an opportunity because both of us might get MacBooks at the end of this. So yeah,
Do you wanna do that? I'm just kidding.
no, it's
It's like
definitely it's
if we compare like, there's
exactly
billboard cost, and then there's the MacBook.
exactly.
Like,
But again, if you tell people to share it and you're gonna give away two MacBooks, but it depends on what base are you doing this to.
yeah,
Morning Brew was doing this to a base of 2 million people. Like they incentivized, I don't know,
it
let's
triggers
say
them.
only
Yeah,
30% of them opened up that email. The 30% of like 600,000 people shared it.
yeah,
600,000, okay. And then they shared it to another 600,000. So you gain potentially 600,000 subscribers. Okay, that is definitely worth two MacBooks, but you cannot do
right,
that with a very small base.
which is true.
Mm.
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, I also see, like, if I'm in the smaller communities, but they're very tight-knit communities. I'm members of, Women Wednesdays. There's other organizations like Nat 20. I think they'd be happy to sign up if I just ask them. But that's probably only a few more hundred. But Women Wednesdays has a community of 7,000 followers.
Yeah.
So, like, there could be another strategic way of promoting it.
This is an ongoing technique. Whenever you're meeting people, and people they naturally ask, what do you do, what are you working on? One of the things, like on it was my son's birthday a few days ago, and we were talking about it, and it came up that we launched a newsletter for Tallahassee, and they asked, what is it about? It's about specific news about Tallahassee. It only comes twice a week. It's not that annoying, yet it specifically focuses on events in Tallahassee. People are excited and people want to sign up for it. We have to clarify two things though. It's email and it's for free. For some reason, some people think it's paid. It cannot. They
Really?
get good information for money.
Well, I'm glad I'm adding value.
Yeah. And the other thing is actually it's for free. So probably we should.
Okay. So
Sorry,
I'll
it's
add
for
free
free, and the other
everywhere.
thing it's email.
Free email newsletter.
Free email
Well,
newsletter.
okay, which reminds me of the billboard. Would you, because obviously less words is better for billboards. Um, well, I think it helps when there's people on the billboard. Not that I prefer our faces to be there, but I think it would be funny if people saw our faces.
I don't know. Listen, I believe in billboards. Like I had a friend who used to work in Unilever, and they're the experts of marketing. They've been doing marketing for hundreds of years. And he told me whenever we design an ad, we think about three things: A, B, C. A, attention. Whatever it is, it has to attract attention. Like someone is driving, like the billboard has to have something that attracts attention. B is brand. As soon as their attention is towards the billboard, they need to see the brand immediately. The brand has to be clear, like big letters or whatever. But the brand has to be there, and immediately they should see it. And then C, communication, is what is the key message that you want to give it to them. And potentially for us will be subscribe to our free email newsletter about Tallahassee. But That communication has to be clear. As long as you have the three elements, then you're good. Now, how do you want to attract attention? Potentially, it can be with people's faces. I loved one of the ads that is around Tallahassee that a lot of people even take pictures of and whatnot. The TMH ad about I don't know. I think there was a UFO that hit a pole, and actually you can see someone. Or there was Humpty Dumpty at some point in time, and it said we heal everyone, or we're there for everyone. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I remember the Humpty Dumpty one, I think.
Yeah, there was a couple of very creative billboards, and potentially, so that this is a very good.
I like the Chick-fil-A ones with the real cows,
Yep.
painting
Yeah.
the banners.
Yeah, that's one. For example. So that's a good way to grab attention, and immediately you see Chick-fil-A, and I don't know, I can't remember the communication though. So, but yeah, the C piece is very important. Probably it's eat chicken. The cow is always saying
Eat
eat
more chicken, yeah.
more chicken. That's a good message. And by the way, I think Chick-fil-A's persona is the smartest persona, and this ad persona is the smartest one ever. Because it actually makes sense. It wouldn't have made sense if a chicken says, "Come and eat me," but it makes so much sense that a cow is incentivizing people. It doesn't want to die,
It's
so
it's humorous.
it
Yeah, it's
wants you
absolutely
to
humorous.
go and it wants you to go and
They
eat
did a
chicken
great
more, so
job
you
with the
leave it.
brand, customer service, overall everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. So I did delegate that task to for one of my team members to look at quotes, and then we could contact Julia just to kind of, just start that conversation of quotes.
Yes.
Um and
Picking
I mean,
locations for the billboards and how many
yes,
billboards, because
yes,
all of these are critical information for
true,
that.
true. Um oh, here, because I have it open, just because I like to include it, and then we can hop off soon because we know we need to go to bed soon, us
Yeah.
old people. Uh, so yeah, this was today's edition. I'm glad your wife liked it, and we're having a great time. Like, even
What was the biggest highlight that you want to share with people about something that we mentioned that's very cool that we mentioned on City Clips?
that's interesting. I mean, well, one thing, because I know that Tallahassee is such a generous, charitable town, they would care about, you know, what's that's one of the reasons why I included in the international section about Maui fires. It's obviously an important issue that
Mhm.
happened recently. So to me, that's one of the reasons why I put it as one of the main things. But everything else, obviously a little bit of lighthearted information related to armadillo. And I guess it stood out to your wife. So
Mhm.
she liked the armadillo. And that was one of the things that stood out to me when I was looking through all the different articles, thanks to InfoReader. That was like, oh, armadillos, leprosy, that's
Mhm.
different. Because everything else starts to look the same, right? Everything that's, either controversial and negative. I just want to highlight positive and informational, helpful tips and news. And then this thing too, this beautiful artwork, I never knew. We have such a talented, I mean, of course I knew creative, artistic talent um, is here in North Florida area, but like this artist who's from Mariana, Florida, who's full
Mhm.
time, she used to be a pilot and became an award-winning artist, and her work is getting featured at Gadsden Arts Center. And I'm like, wow,
Where?
this is
Where?
amazing.
Tell us. So where is it? Where is it going to?
Okay, so yeah, so Gadsden Arts is in Quincy area. If you ever want to see, they actually provide high quality art experiences, and they're featuring a lot of exhibits. Um, Actually, multiple showcases, not just this artist Michelle Tabor Kimbrough, if hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, but they're featuring a lot of artists, very talented artists in their museum, and some of them will conclude soon in the next week or two.
When
And
is
the
it to
cost of the
conclude? Probably you should have mentioned that. When is it?
Yeah, I can include that, but I did mention that it concludes in September. So,
Mhm.
but
Okay.
for tickets, it's actually like they're really not that expensive, $30 to $50 in some cases. And I think it's Saturday they allow people to just come in for free on Saturdays.
Oh, nice.
But those are great questions. So if you wanted, like, if you want me to include those kind of tidbits, like, hey, come for free on Saturdays, like that's what you can do with a family.
Yeah.
And then, for regional, it was interesting to find that Florida ranks 8th in the top, 10. So
So
Iowa's
it's
number 1. Would you ever move to Iowa? No, not me.
I don't know. So, but that's interesting. Why is Iowa one?
They factor in the crime rate, the affordability, and just because it's a they think of retirement, like what's going to be most practical for retirement age, right? You
Mhm,
don't ever want to worry too much about, and I think they also factor in safety and weather
mhm,
and healthcare. They also factor in the cost of healthcare. Is it too expensive? Is it affordable and a great quality healthcare? That's what they looked at.
mhm.
So, yeah.
Very interesting.
I mean, I would have loved to include a lot of those details too, but it's just like once you start adding more, you can
Mhm.
see that the paragraph will just grow and grow.
Yes. No, no,
And
no,
then
no.
I'm just regurgitating what the
As long as you have the link that will take people who want to learn more about it, then they can press the link, then they can go into their own rabbit hole when it comes to this topic. But
True.
for us, it's just about keeping it short to 3 to 4 minutes read, because that's the value proposition that we have.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. You learn
Nice.
just the right amount.
Yep.
So yeah, um, we're still giving, shout outs to, and then I said we're looking for partners, so please let us know.
Nice. I think this is amazing. Okay. Looking forward to it. Okay. So hopefully we're gonna see the emails and like updates when it comes to the billboard. I really want to see. I keep telling people they're gonna see our billboard soon. I think this is going to be a breakthrough.
Other people.
So pressure.
Yeah, yeah. I like your pressure is like pressure. That's the pressure. But then it's okay. And I'm also like looking at my time, calculating this is about between, and I notice I'll use more time in the first edition and then I carry over some of it to the Thursday edition. And I like to highlight events more for Thursday just because everyone's getting ready for the weekend. And I figured it kind of fits well. And I still highlight some dates in the Tuesday edition. It's just more people are trying to figure out the weekend on Thursdays and Fridays. So that's one of the reasons why I figured it's more appropriate. But pretty soon we're going to try to get to the point where we're a week ahead and then we'll throw in some more current issues kind of like the day before.
Nice.
That's
Okay.
what I'm hoping.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah, give it 2 to 3 weeks for the
Okay.
billboard. No, we
Billboard
can
beginning
totally do it
September.
sometime.
I'm hoping that we're gonna see city clips on a billboard in September. Beginning.
That's realistic. It's
Okay.
realistic. We can do that.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Well, that's it for today, everyone. I will see you on the other side, right, Holly?
Yes.
Bye, everyone. See you next time.